Yes.
Now, the thing I find interesting, you said you haven't compromised the layout of Tolkowsky.
That's correct.
However, you're not necessarily cutting an ideal or zero in order to get this effect.
That is correct.
We're not looking at a 54 to 57% table and a 61.2 or 4% depth. There is some variability there.
That absolutely is correct. And the reason for that, that's an excellent point. We were going to get to that, but since you brought that up, we'll just segue into it. The bottom line is through our tremendous, and now the technology that's available to us, both in cutting a diamond and just as importantly, if not more importantly, in measuring a diamond. Think about this. If you look at historical reports from our most credited labs, they are to a great extent two-dimensional analysis of a three-dimensional product. Wow, there's a challenge there because light performance in a diamond is a three-dimensional property. And I think if you look at what GIA has done with their multiple cut grades, which they worked for over a decade before they released it, and still are trying to explain it to the trade, even though we're all very versed in understanding of GIA, is that GIA's multiple cut grades are showing that there are different combinations that create an optimal performing diamond. Basically, if you look at the diamond, the most important angle in a diamond is the pavilion angle. Is that a fair statement? Well, basically what the GIA cut grade and what our research found is this is the most important angle. And by important means it has the least amount of percentage of leadway for flexibility. And depending on if you open the pavilion angle up a little bit or you close it, that has a direct bearing on your crown angle and your depth and your table size. So these multiple cut grades, Richard, are showing us that there's not one set of proportions that works for all diamonds.